Hello and welcome everyone to the week ahead commodity report, where we of course will be reviewing the markets for the week ahead. Another week and another highly anticipated money making opportunity. That's one of the most lucrative trends of the current financial climate that we find ourselves in right now. In today's highly macro driven markets, they are fueling one of the greatest wealth transfers the world has seen, which is presenting savvy traders with a series of exciting back-to-back money-making opportunities on a daily basis. There's no denying that March has started off with a bang, bringing with it a series of highly lucrative market-moving themes, from re-accelerating inflation to monetary policy crisis to an escalating global banking crisis, which is rapidly becoming known as Financial Crisis 2.0. And just in case that wasn't exciting enough, traders are now on the cusp of being gifted with even more lucrative money-making opportunities, with US policymakers on the verge of pumping $2 trillion of liquidity into the banking system in the form of stealth stimulus, which may ultimately lead to the most hotly anticipated event of all, the Fed policy pivot. Exactly 1 year ago, the Federal Open Market Committee, they embarked on their most aggressive interest rate hike campaign since the 1980s, the goal to arrest a stubborn inflation wave that central bank officials spent the better part of a year dismissing as transitory. Historically, every time the Federal Reserve has engaged in interest rate hiking cycle, they have kept going until something eventually breaks. And that's the exact same situation they find themselves in right now. Once again, on the 1 year anniversary of their rate hike campaign, it's often said that when a butterfly flaps its wings in one part of the world, it can cause a storm in the other part of the world. And this is precisely the ripple effect that we're currently seeing play out in real time, with deepening financial crisis that began in the US now rapidly spreading across the European and Asian banking system. 2 weeks ago, the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, that marked the second biggest banking failure in history since the 2008 financial crisis, while simultaneously highlighting vulnerabilities in the banking system and displaying compelling evidence that financial institutions, they're struggling from the consequence of soaring inflation rates. A week on, and a third US bank, First Republic Bank, has been propped up with $30 billion bailout, preventing it from collapsing. The market turmoil also spread to Switzerland's second largest lender, Credit Suisse, wiping out over $60 billion in value from European banks across the continent in a single day alone. Over the weekend, Swiss officials and UBS Bank, they raced to put together a rescue deal to Credit Suisse. Regardless of bailouts, rescue deals, and central banks pumping trillions of dollars of liquidity into the banking system, evidence is mounting that financial systems, they're fragile, and this could just be the tip of an iceberg. According to the Wall Street Journal, economists have now found 186 banks that may be prone to the same risk as Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, with one of the biggest names being flagged as Bank of America, which currently has $113 billion as unrealized losses on its balance sheet. Some depositors aren't waiting around to find out which bank fails next. On Friday, US customers, they withdrew a total of $42 billion from their accounts. That's $4.2 billion an hour, or more than $1 million per second for 10 hours straight. On the flip side, the commodity markets, they recorded net inflows of $8.5 billion over the past week, with a significant chunk of capital totaling $6.3 billion flooding into precious metals. That's the second largest inflow into commodities ever recorded in a single week since the 2008 financial crisis. The current macro environment backdrop, that is fueling one of the greatest wealth transfers of our lifetime, presenting savvy traders with incredible back-to-back opportunities to generate huge profits fast. In fact, this month we've seen a number of commodities notching up spectacular double-digit gains in a single week, sometimes in a single day alone, not once but on multiple occasions. Take last week, for example, we saw huge explosive moves across the metals, with silver, gold, platinum surging to fresh multi-month highs, racking up impressive double-digit gains in a matter of days. Meanwhile, gold has been unstoppable this month, tallying up its third consecutive week of gains on Friday to post its best weekly performance in 3 years, bringing prices within striking distance of $2,000 per ounce. That's the exact level gold prices they were trading at 3 years ago in March 2020, just before prices skyrocketed to new all-time record highs. Since the first quarter of 2022, gold prices, they've gone parabolic, running up almost $400 an ounce from their November lows of $1,600 The bullish momentum also spilled over into gold priced in other currencies, such as the British pound, euros, and Australian dollars, sending prices blasting through all-time highs. And this could just be the beginning. It's often said that history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. And right now we have crisis on top of crisis, which, as traders know, that's translating to opportunity on top of opportunity. This is the time that traders, they wait decades for, because it's times like these that make millionaires and billionaires out of regular people. And there's lots of traders out there that completely missed out on two of the previous greatest wealth transfers in history, including the global financial crisis of 2008 and more recently the pandemic in 2020. The ones that saw the opportunity and knew how to capitalize, they accumulated life-changing wealth. According to the World Wealth Report, 6.2 million ordinary people, they became millionaires for the first time during the 2020 pandemic, which is more than any other time in history. I'm sure all of us know a friend, a colleague, or even a family member who made an absolute fortune. But history is about to be rewritten. Once again, we find ourselves at the forefront of one of the biggest wealth creation opportunities of our lifetimes. This explosive cocktail of events that is currently unfolding right now, that is presenting the third greatest wealth transfer of our lifetime. You don't want to be the person that knew about it, had a chance to capitalize on one of the greatest wealth transfers ever, and missed out yet again. According to Bloomberg, 1 in 2 people, they've now turned to trading to protect their hard-earned money from reckless central bankers and capitalize on high return opportunities on offer in this new economic climate that we find ourselves in right now. More millionaires and billionaires will be made this time around than ever before. The only question is, will you be one of them? Do not underestimate what you can achieve in the next 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or even 12 months from now. The majority of our clients at the Gold and Silver Club are utilizing our proprietary research-driven trading approach. They've already made in excess of 6 and 7 figures this year, and we're only in March. If you want to supercharge your trading results and make 2023 your best year yet, then just go to jointhegoldandsilverclub.com now to learn how a mentorship program can take your trading to the next level. Looking ahead, it's another action-packed week ahead with all eyes on the Federal Reserve's monetary policy meeting. Last week, the European Central Bank, they surprised the markets by raising interest rates by 50 basis points. Despite the banking crisis currently unfolding, this has now put pressure on the Federal Reserve to stay on course and to follow suit with a similar move. Unfortunately, the Fed is now caught between a rock and a hard place, and if the Fed continues hiking interest rates, then they ultimately risk breaking more things, if not the real economy, then the financial system. If the Fed pauses their interest rate hike campaign, they will lose credibility. However, if the Fed cut rates, that will look like a panic move, which could also spark a bigger crisis. Regardless of the outcome, the Fed's next move is guaranteed to move markets significantly, bringing with it massive opportunities to generate huge profits fast. So with that, let's move over to the markets and we'll talk you through exactly what we're looking at here as we head into a new week. So first of all, moving over to silver, as we discussed with you previously, massive buy opportunity on silver just over a week ago at or below $20 per ounce. We took the opportunity with our clients here on silver to get in at $20.10 per ounce. Just within a week and a half, the price action, it's broken out to $22.55 per ounce. We took the opportunity to start scaling out of some profits last week, banking 200 points. As you may know, every 1 lot contract, that's going to be $20,000 of profit. Every 10 lot contract you're trading, that's going to be $200,000 of profit. That was just in over a week. Silver prices, they broke out 9% last week, and the previous week they broke out over 5%. Immense move to the upside here. In fact, silver has actually outperformed gold in the last week, and that's saying something because gold here had its best weekly performance since COVID, since March of 2020. So equally, gold, of course, had an immense move up over 5.75% last week. But again, silver was the real star here, breaking out just under 10% last week and 9% breakout to the upside. We caught the inflection point, the day of the reversal, and that's been an absolute immense move for ourselves and our clients at the Gold and Silver Club. So with respect to gold at the moment, you can see here we're trading just under $2,000 per ounce right now. I would also turn your attention over to crude oil. Last week, as you know, and I detailed it through the week ahead report and also Tuesday and Thursday's commodity report, Friday was quad witching. This is the simultaneous closure of contracts. A lot of traders were forced to close positions. Also the situation with Credit Suisse last week as well, again, forced many traders to close out energy positions last week. I would suggest we're short-term overstretched to the downside here on oil. It is a market that I like at these prices, of course, back down here at $67 per barrel, all the way down towards $65 per barrel is where we're seeing liquidity right now. We keep catching a bid each time we're coming down down to that level. No surprise at all on Friday to see another retest back down towards those lows, with Friday being quad witching. We had been expecting this for a while. As such, we banked our profits here in the first week of March at $80.50 per barrel here for crude oil, banking our profits before we saw this massive reversal to the downside, which is to be expected as you go into the middle of March. I'll just give you a point here. Exactly the same thing happened this time last year as well. So if you just go back and look at the price action that we had this time last year, exactly the same thing happened as well around quad witching. You had a tremendous sell-off to the downside for oil. It broke down over 3,500 points. It broke from $129 per barrel all the way back down to 93. You can see after quad witching here, we then got a reversal, and basically oil prices, they broke out over 2,000 points within a week and a half to the upside. So again, I would keep an eye on crude oil. It's already getting a bid at the moment. It's up 1.24% at the moment as of the Sunday through to Monday open here. So you can see here oil very quickly starting to get a bid at these zones. And I would suggest if we continue to hold around the 65 level, this can actually end up being a nice trade opportunity, if not just a reversion to the mean here, because it's very much overdone over the last few days. And you would have seen the news over the weekend regarding UBS acquiring Credit Suisse, and therefore we're seeing further risk on sentiment into the Sunday open, which coincidentally you're seeing some profit taking at the moment on gold as well. Similar on silver right now too. So we may well start to see a little bit more consolidation of the recent gains here. I'm still expecting the metals to do incredibly well over this period, especially we go into next quarter once we start moving into the month of April as well. But of course, we've been very early to this move. We've caught the inflection, the reversal here on the metals. They've had some of the biggest moves here again, going back to the crisis of 2008 and also the pandemic of 2020. So just some massive opportunities to capitalize on in the last week. Plenty of markets moving double digits last week. That included platinum as well. And whatever long-term goal you're looking to achieve through trading, whether that's to create a full-time or a second or a placement income, or just to earn a better return on your savings, now is the time to take action to give yourself the gift of a better 2023. If you want to maximize your money-making potential and thrive, not just survive in these fast-moving markets, then you need to adapt your strategy to the current market conditions. Most importantly, utilize a professional, research-driven approach. One of the biggest obstacles that holds back 99% of retail traders from achieving their desired success, it's not having access to the correct professional strategies, institutional level data, and market intelligence to make confident decisions with accuracy and certainty. There is a huge gap between the top 1% of professional traders and the bottom 99% of misguided retail traders who simply rely on outdated technical analysis or gimmicky technical indicators that do not work in these markets. If you want to get yourself out of the bottom 99% and into the top 1% who are actually crushing it and making 6, 7, and 8-figure returns in these markets right now, then you need to utilize a professional, research-driven approach, or you'll just end up wasting lots of time, money, and effort. You'll have no results to show for all of your hard work. In these rapidly changing markets, you need to constantly be innovating and evolving, and technical analysis and outdated technical indicators, they won't work. Those days, they're long gone. If that's all you're relying on, then the odds are already massively stacked up against you. If you want to change your results, you have to change your thinking. If you want to learn our exclusive research-driven approach that is never taught to retail traders and only reserved for professional traders in the banks, hedge funds with access to powerful game-changing insights, including where the banks and hedge funds, they're buying and selling in real time, the key liquidity zones, you can enter and exit the markets with pinpoint precision, the fundamentals, the macroeconomics, the capital flows, the daily, the weekly, the monthly, the quarterly, real-time data-driven cycles, and intermarket correlations, then you need to join our mentorship program. As we head into a new year, we are in one of the greatest eras of wealth creation the world has ever seen. And if you want to successfully capitalize on the huge money-making opportunities ahead and build significant life-changing wealth, there's no better time than now. If you want to upgrade your income, then you have to upgrade your skills, and never underestimate what you can achieve in the next few months from now with the right guidance and mentorship. Time is the most valuable commodity that we have. Make sure that you don't waste it. If you want to join our community of successful traders and take your trading to the next level, there is an opportunity for you to do so. As a member, you get access to our exclusive live trading room webinars. You get access to real-time trade ideas, access to institutional research and market intelligence, access to our private Members Academy website, and also support and one-to-one mentoring. For more information, just go to www.jointhelivetradingroom.com. The link is also below this report in the description. So just click on the link, make an application, and we will, of course, get in touch with you ASAP.